Hey everyone, welcome back to the Let's Play TPPI2. This is Lord Nitrim, and with us today we have Chinson.
Hey everyone.
So today we're going to continue on with expanding our Botania garden, and we're going to try and cover some of the basics while we do so, since I didn't get to do a lot of that last time, and we missed some recording opportunities when I was playing through last time. There was too much rain when I was expanding the garden, so since then I put in what's actually called a rain muffler. And I can bring that up real quick here so people can see that if you're interested in what that is. It's just this recipe on screen. It's essentially a note block surrounded by any type of wool. And oh, I'm sorry, that's sound muffler. Here's rain muffler. It's a water bucket surrounded by any type of colored wool. And you can put that anywhere. We have it hidden underground, but when it starts raining, the rain will no longer make sound. So if it does start to rain during this recording, we won't have to scrap everything due to background noise. We've also disabled chat, so we won't have any random strangers talking on the bottom of our screen, which should be nice.
It's funny how rain in game can screw some stuff up too.
Yes, and it is nice to live in a biome that gets rain because of our mana source, which we covered a little last time, are these water towers. And everyone might notice that we have a new water tower here, and it looks a little bit different, not just because everything's made out of glass, but it's more compressed down. We actually have 5 stacks of floating hydro flowers, and we have them at 8 different locations around a 3x3 source of water. And apparently this was a big deal. Apparently other people like to use a 2x2 source of water, and they'll just put flowers in the 4 corners of that source. And I have seen people make towers out of this as well, usually with a break in it like we have here on the old version, so that the mana spreader can shoot outwards. 2 things I learned is that mana spreaders can shoot mana through water directly, so we have one in the middle, one at the bottom, and then they relay through the ground and come up over here into our distributor. So that's a pretty interesting fact to note. They won't take any mana loss for that. And another thing I learned is that the floating flowers, since they act as their own source dirt block, can actually block off water. So if you have a 3x3 design for water, you can put them in like this, and it will stop the water from coming out and ruining the flowers like it will with normal hydro flowers. So this actually helps save a lot more space and get a lot more mana at the same time out of the structure here, which is great.
Manipulating mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about testing stuff and finding it out what you can do. It's funny because I came in as a complete noob to Botania, and now everybody on the server is starting to copy this. Wraithlit has a tower that's about 11 blocks high, using this same method on his boat out in the middle of the ocean. So
Well, there's a lot to read. When I first came and you showed me this, I'm like, what?
yeah, there is quite a lot in the Lexica Botania. Today what we're going to do is we're going to cover the enchanting, as I said, and before we do that, we'll recover some of the basics by doing essentially the structure we have here with the tower, but we're going to place it into the ground. So I've prepared that. All the slots are necessary are ready, and we have, of course, our water source already in place here. And I did this before you got on, Chinson, and before we started recording, because I figured what fun is it to record digging, you know?
Some people might like it. I'd probably be pretty bored.
Yeah, exactly. I had to get out the excavator and just scoop it out in a 3x3 area until it was deep enough. So we'll make essentially the same thing. It'll be about 5 blocks high, and that's going to be about 40 hydro flowers, and that's going to solely be for the purpose of powering a mana pool we're going to put back here, and the mana pool will then power our enchanting area.
This will work underground? Don't the flowers need light?
No, the flowers do not need light. The only flowers that need light are the day blooms over here. Those work during the day. The nightshades work during the night. The beautiful part about hydro flowers is they can work anywhere as long as they're near a source block of water to absorb.
That's useful because you can just kind of, if you don't like looking at the tower, just hide it underground and have it power everything.
Exactly. It's extremely useful. You can hide it in all sorts of places. It looks like might have to do some troubleshooting here. Alright, so now that we've covered the first part of what we plan to do, what we'll do now is we can go ahead and make some actual floating flowers, or we'll show you how. I've prepared some ahead of time because making 40 of these, it does take a little bit of time. So the first thing we need to cover is, part of making a floating flower is you have to make glimmering flowers first, and for that recipe we can just open up our Lexica Botania here. We can go into the index, and should be on the second page. I don't see it there, but you can just start typing glimmering flowers. There it is. And this is essentially all you do, is you add 2 glowstone to any type of mystical flower. It doesn't matter what the color is, and you get the glimmering flower of that color, and that will produce light. You then take the glimmering flower and you put it over top of a pasture seed and a dirt block and a crafting table. So Ryan, why don't you go ahead and show us how that's done?
Sure. The only flower I had in my inventory is a white one.
Well, that's alright. Like I said, it doesn't matter what the color is, unless you're making a glimmering flower just for lighting effects, then you can make, you might want to take the time to see what specific color comes out. So okay, there you go.
That's how it could work underground. It produced its own light source, because you kind of upgrade it.
Right. Well, again, in hydro flowers, when we're done, they don't need any light, they just need to be near water. But yeah, usually glimmering flowers, if you're going to make just the glimmering flower itself, you can do that. And that's another benefit of floating flowers, since glimmering flower is part of it. This entire tower lights up the area. That's why we don't have any torches in the immediate vicinity. And later on, what we'll probably do is we'll probably even convert some of these cyan flowers we have set up for our enchanting area into glimmering flowers, so that they can also light up the area and we can remove some of these torches off the ground. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll take the glimmering flower and we'll make a floating flower. So Chinson will pick this back up, and to make a particular type of seed for floating flowers, you come over to a normal mana pool and just throw in grass. So luckily Chinson was mowing the yard earlier with shears, and he's going to throw the grass in. And he gets the seed back.
Pasture seeds.
There you go. What seed is it?
Pasture seeds.
Aster seeds. Is that...
Pastured, like a pasture.
Yeah, pasture seeds. That's right. I thought you were saying aster. Okay.
No.
Miscommunication there. Alright, so now Ryan will take the seed, he'll take the flower, and he'll take a block of dirt, and he'll combine it all in the crafting table here.
I think you picked up the flower.
Did I pick up the flower? I did. So I'll place that in there for you, and I'll even place the dirt. So all you need to do is place the seed into the middle there. Alright, perfect. So just hold on to that for a minute, and what I'll do now is I'll show people all about using the Petal Apothecary. So when we're using the Petal Apothecary, it's good to have a nearby source of water. So under here we actually have a 2x2 water source. That way when we use a bucket of water, the other water fills it back into another source. So we can gather as much water as we need when we're using this, and that's pretty important considering, like I said, this is going to need 40 hydro flowers. So to make flowers that generate, or to make flowers that are functional, you of course have to use the apothecary and have certain ingredients. So in here we can see we need 3 cyan petals, a pink petal, and 2 blue petals. Now 1 blue petal and 1 cyan petal are actually going to be mana petals. To make that, you come out here, you go to your mana pool, you throw in 1 blue petal, 1 cyan petal. And I do have extra cyan mana petals. that's for a later time. So then we come back to the apothecary. We drop in 1 pink, 1 blue, 2 cyan, 1 cyan mana, and 1 cyan blue. Once you have your petals in there, you go ahead and throw in seeds. And boom, now we have a hydro flower. So now what I'll do is I'm going to put this on the crafting table. Chinson will come over and put the glimmering floating flower underneath that. And there we go, a floating hydro flower. Like I said, since creating these does take a little bit of time, I prepared the other 39 flowers we'll need, and we can start putting those in soon. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just like a cooking show. I already did this an hour ago.
Exactly, we are pre-prepared for this, so much like Emerald, we prepared some of the ingredients ahead of time. Alright, so we don't want to put these in just yet. They'll start gathering mana and eating up source blocks right away. So we need to have mana spreaders that are prepared to handle that. So what I'll do now is I'm going to make some elven mana spreaders with the help of Chinson. Chinson was polite enough to make some living wood using our pure daisy. And now that we have a portal, what he'll be able to do is throw that living wood through, and that should come back as dreamwood. I believe there should be 18 blocks of that. Just throw them all in.
You gave me 18.
Yep, look at that. Doesn't come back the other side, just comes back. He'll start collecting the wood as it comes out one by one.
Yeah, it's not instant. There's like a little bit of lag.
Right, the elves are taking their sweet time to send us back their dreamwood. I'm sure they're chopping it as we wait. So,
Is that what this thing is? There's like an elf realm and they're just doing all the work for us?
That's what the book says. When you read about the portal to Alfheim in the book, it will tell you all these fun little details. I believe there was a section called Elvengrad, which details more how the portal works and how they're on the other side, and there's a whole time loop of something or another, so we can throw stuff in and it comes back a few seconds later and we don't have to wait an eternity. What we'll also need for these spreaders is we're going to need some elementium, and for that we will need mana steel, and for every 1 elementium we need, we will need to throw in 2 mana steel. Now the elven mana spreader needs just 1 elementium and 6 dreamwood, and that's why we had Chinson here throw so much dreamwood or living wood in for dreamwood. So now we'll throw these in.
And this is like the level 2 one, right? There's one more that's better.
Yeah, mana steel is kind of level 1, and elementium is level 1.5, I guess you could say, when you're building with it. You don't get extra protection out of armor. The protection rates are the same. There is a chance that when you get attacked, though, pixies will spawn to aid you by attacking your enemies. It's a relatively small chance, but, you know, it's a chance nonetheless compared to nothing with mana steel. The best ingots to make would be terra steel, and those are a pretty hefty price, considering they need ender pearls and diamonds to make, and half a mana pool for 1 ingot to be generated. Yeah, so we might show that at some point when we start upgrading our weapons to terra steel. So I have the elementium, Chinson has the dreamwood. Let's go back to the crafting table and we're gonna make those spreaders now. So I will place the elementium here and 3 mana petals, and the mana petals can be any color. It does not need to be cyan, it can be any color mana petal. Oh, you put an extra block in there. So go ahead and just lay down the rest of the dreamwood in the formation we have it there.
Oh, I leave a hole. That's what I did wrong.
Alright.
Got it. We got 3.
Alright, Chinson does not yet have a jetpack, so go ahead and pass me those now. And what I'll do is I'll fly down the little entryway we have to get underneath here, and I'll place these and pop right back up in a second. place one here. That's going to shoot all the way over here. And you know what? Luckily I do have a block of dirt. We will pop that there. And that should make for a decent relay. And we will need a mana pool to put here, so we'll make another one of those in just a second. Now we need to place an Elven mana spreader that can actually collect some of the mana that'll generate for the upper half. Again, with this newer setup, this generates an intense amount of mana, so... Oh, did this stop working again? Oh no, that's working. Okay, stream is just looking a little weird for it. So we do get an intense amount of mana from this many hydro flowers, and it does usually take 2 spreaders within close proximity to them. So we have one at the bottom now, and we'll actually need to open that up. Luckily I can breathe underwater. Alright, and now we'll need one somewhere above it. Let's get some stone bricks. I think I know what we can do here. Not stone bricks, but cobblestone. Here we go.
Yeah, I was wondering how you put it in the middle of everything. I figured you did something like that.
Right, so there we go. That should take care of that. Actually, let's move it down just a little bit more. So I'm afraid if we leave it at the top, the water block might not refill into a source block. This takes a while to break by punching it, huh? At least underwater it does. There it goes. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, no, still seems to be a source block there. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll come over here like this, that there, and just like that. There we go.
How can you tell where you need to put it before you put the mana flowers in?
A little bit of guessing. There we go. We can put water on top of that. So that'll help ensure we keep some water source above it. We'll throw our bucket back into our Botania chest now that we're done with that. Oh, I have hunger. I can eat a mana cookie now. Mana cookies are really great. Just as an FYI, make normal cookies, throw them into a mana pool, you get mana cookies, and when you eat them, get this amazing effect where they fully cover your hunger, they put you fully saturated hunger, and they should give usually small amount of protection spell for a limited time.
Good to know.
Yep. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll start placing these flowers. As you can see, once we place it down, it's creating some light. It's a very nice effect.
One right on top of each other, right?
Yep, just one on top of another.
Here, give me a bunch. I could do that because I can just jump up.
Oh, that's a very good point. There you go. Try and actually, yeah, I'll do the one in the water since I can actually breathe down here. As we can see, we're starting to see mana beams shoot down in front of us already. Alright. Oh, that's one too many. There you go. So you should have 3 more, I believe, Chinson?
Yeah, I got it and putting it down.
Perfect. Alright, so that's it.
Oh, I noticed it made a cube out of this now. Because the water was flowing on the 4 sides. No,
Yep.
it's not. It's
acting as its own block. Yep, pretty nice.
is it shooting mana down?
It is shooting mana. It's going to quickly fill up those mana buffers. So what we'll do is, I need to grab a tool real quick. We're going to grab a chisel, and we're going to grab a diluted mana pool. And as we covered last time, I believe, or it might have been the video that I didn't get to post, mana pool is made by just putting 5 living rock in kind of a bucket formation almost. and then you throw a diluted pool into actual mana pool, and you get another mana pool back. So we'll now place that here, and with the Wand of the Forest, we should see that filling up. Yep, so it's getting a little bit of mana at a time there. So we'll wait for that to catch up, and that should be all good. Uh-oh.
He wants the mana. He wants it bad.
He wants the mana so bad. He's jealous of our mana. Our amazing mana setup. So I have...
If anyone that's still confused, we basically took this thing and we put it underground.
Right. Exactly.
Because it's basically the exact same principle.
That's right. Alright, so now I do have a nifty little chisel here. This is from Chisel 2. To make one of these, it's just one stick and 4 iron ingots in a chisel shape. And when you are holding it in your hand, you can right click, and it gives you this menu. This is a fun mod. I figured we'll cover this for real brief. It's pretty straightforward. You put in certain block types, and it lets you change how they look. So this is how I got the glass for our mana towers, is we use what's called light glass. It does not actually light up, but it does look nicer than normal glass. So we're going to go ahead and use this. And there we go.
I guess it's important to kind of make sure it's working.
Yep, that's right. And I wanted to put this underground instead of leaving it above ground, just so when we're out here on the road, we can get a clear view of our enchanting area. And I don't like seeing the dirt around the glass in particular. We might change this and frame the glass, and maybe we'll even
nicify
change
it.
Yeah, we'll nicify it. That's a good way of putting it. We'll nicify it when we're not recording sometime, and maybe even change the glass type, because